What's happening, guys? It's about Nakwal for iGyaan and today we're going to be unboxing and taking a quick look at the new Sony A7R or the Alpha 7R. Now this is a full frame sensor equipped digital SLR which comes in a compact body, so you have essentially a body of an NEX style camera with a full frame sensor on the inside. Now to talk about pricing, this camera with the body itself costs about 1,24,900 rupees in the Indian market. It was recently launched for that price and should be slightly cheaper, about 1,000 odd rupees cheaper in the market. Now the A7R does have a full frame sensor which is a 36.4 megapixel sensor. You also have fast intelligent autofocus and a lot of things that Sony has been adding to their full line of full frame cameras, including the Alpha 99. They've basically brought all those features into this camera body. Now traditionally inside the box you would get a lot more things, but inside our box we got basic documentation. We of course have the lens cap or the lens area cap that comes within the box. You have some documentation and you have basic cabling. You'll also get a shoulder strap, a warranty certificate, and a charger, which essentially is a micro USB charger. So this camera can be charged with any micro USB cable and takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge. Now let's quickly take a look around the camera itself. Over at the top you have an exposure compensation dial, the shutter button and the on and off switch. You also have the mode selection button or the mode selection dial, which lets you select between various modes that you have on the camera. You also have the two dials that can be customized as per your requirements. Traditionally they're used for aperture and shutter speed. Over at the back you also have an array of buttons to customize as per your requirement. You also have a jog dial with the center selection key for navigation, and then you have an autofocus, manual focus along with auto exposure lock selection switch. You also have a bunch of custom buttons that you can customize according to your requirement. You have an electronic viewfinder that automatically turns on when you put your eye next to the sensor, which essentially displays the same information that is displayed on this new vari-angle LCD at the back. The battery inside is an Info-Lithium M battery, which is a standard for NEX style cameras, and it is also the NP-FW50 battery. Now this camera does have a standard SD card slot and it does take up to 128GB SD cards. You also have NFC and Wi-Fi within the camera, and you can see indications for those here. So you can hook it up with your smartphone via NFC and control it via the Photo Memories app on a Sony or any other Android device, including iOS devices as well. Now over at the left you have your standard ports. So you have an HDMI out, your micro USB for control and data transfer, and you have a mic input and headphone out. The on and off switch is located on the top, like I said earlier. Let's quickly take a look at the interface. Now, before we take a look at the interface, we'll also take a look at this new lens. Now this is an FE 28 to 70mm lens with an aperture of 3.5 to 5.6. And the good thing about this is that even at extended zoom levels or at the maximum telephoto, which is the 70mm, the lens does not expand a lot. So all the zooming happens within the body of the lens, which is nice. The lens is fairly bright in low light, and we'll give you some sample shots with the final review of the A7R. Now, if you used a Sony DSLR before or even a Sony NEX camera, you'll be very familiar with this menu interface. The full menu or the settings menu has all the options that you would require for photography or even for videography. So you can set your image size. For video, you can even set things like zebra and autofocus peaking. All those features are available. The convenient function selection button also lets you switch through various functions while you are shooting. So you can choose your focus style. You can shift from autofocus to manual focus or single shot autofocus. You also have continuous autofocus if your lens supports it. And you can also set up various other things, including flash mode, drive mode. You also have something which is a continuous shooting, and then you have a speed continuous shooting or a speed priority continuous shooting, which cuts down the size of the sensor to ensure that you get faster shots, and they continue to remain in focus. We did try it out a little bit. Now the ISO on this camera goes up to 25,600 as a maximum, and we'll give you some sample shots on various levels of ISO for your consideration. You also have traditional Sony style white balance settings, including auto white balance and various incandescent indoor settings, as well as 3 custom settings and a Kelvin adjustment. So you have full control over your white balance as well. As far as video is concerned, you get AVC HD. It's not the best video codec available on a Sony camera. A lot of people don't like using this codec for creating video, but video quality is exceptionally good. We did take it out for a little while, and we'll show you some samples in the upcoming videos. If you do shoot in the MP4 codec, the only video size you get is 1440 by 1080p, which may not be appreciated by a lot of people if you're used to shooting and editing the 1920 format. As far as size is concerned, if you put it in comparison to the Alpha 99, which does have a battery grip on it, by the way, the new A7R is considerably smaller in size but has a bigger size sensor and also has a lot more new features that the A99 misses. But that does not take away from the fact that the A99 is a professional full frame camera and has a lot of features that the A7R cannot have. That being said, one of the main things that is missing from the A7R is possibly the touchscreen, which would have made it a complete compact full frame camera. However, we'll be back with our samples and our full review of the A7R, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below and stay tuned to iGyaan.in. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV. For iGyaan Networks, this has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.